What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Astro Vibe Show. My name is Malik Harris.
My name is Mackie Tocini.
My name is Derek Moore.
And this is the Astro Vibe Show where you come to
Vibe with the tribe.
Today we are watching
40K Hammer? Nah, I'm not going to do y'all like that.
every single Warhammer 40K Faction Explained Part 1. Long titles, long videos. This is only Part 1, so yeah. We're going to spend some time. It fucked me up because when I saw Faction, like my brain just immediately was like, oh, he's going to go through all the different legions. And then I didn't really think about it until I seen the Legion video. And I'm like, wait, factions as in races? As in a whole other hours of... Yeah. So we're going to end up getting to the Legion video as well. I think I had replied to some comments and stuff and said we're doing the Legion video first. But I lied. So here we are doing factions. We will pause it throughout. It's a long video. Probably pause it each individual section just so we can kind of touch on each of the factions and stuff. Make sure we have a good grasp. And then if you guys could help us out, comment down below and kind of fill in any gaps as we pause and go through these different sections. We'd definitely appreciate it. It'll help speed up this learning process for us because I know you guys have a bunch of knowledge. You guys have been waiting for years for
Drop that
Warhammer
knowledge
to blow up. So yeah, that's all I got. Don't want to talk too much.
Yeah.
We finna get into this, man.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
The Star Tees, I do want to comment on that. Great shit. And I appreciate you guys commenting on that and kind of filling in the gaps. A lot of people gave a description on what was happening throughout the episode, and it definitely enlightened me, so I appreciate you guys.
Third, beyond the Messiah, but someone who would appreciate them. You will not be getting my legs today, as I will be replacing them with various things depending on which faction we are currently talking about to add a little bit more context and possible comedy to whatever the hell I am currently doing.
Come on, my dogs.
Hello everybody,
Video started
my name
fast.
is Bricky, and this is going to be a long video and a large project that has been going on for quite some time. This is, I need two hands for this. This is every single Warhammer 40K race in kind of a nutshell, explained, a little bit of explanation, a little bit of lore, a little bit of tabletop, but mostly lore, what they're all about, and also a little bit of background for those of you who just have no clue what Warhammer 40,000 is. Now you see, Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000 is a universe people hear plenty of, but don't know a whole lot about. They see, oh, there's these dudes in big power armor with chainsaw swords, and they got these big old green orcs, and there's some bugs over there, and everyone calls these guys weebs. And then there's these spiky bitches over here. I don't understand. Where do I start? Well, this video is particularly for you, or for those of you who have a little bit of knowledge, but you're kind of curious about each of the different races and factions in Warhammer. So overall, the Warhammer universe is vast when it comes to lore and background, and each different faction is so different with the things that they believe in, and some are. You're kind of curious about each of the different races and factions in Warhammer. So overall, the Warhammer universe.
Oh my jeez.
Oh my god.
Where do you begin?
The North Star.
Jeez, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I was looking for the. Oh wait, I don't know where anything's at.
Where's the big star that they use for
The warp.
navigation?
I was looking for the warp, and I was like, wait a minute, I don't even see it on here. Is there more?
It's gotta be more, bro, because you see words spilling out the top and some more shit.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, I ain't finna look at this shit. Hurt my brain ain't looking at it, bro. Look, the Eye of the Terror.
Oh okay, oh yeah. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah. This is not good for my mental health. I'm gonna go back.
Verse is vast
Spelling, though,
when it comes to lore and background, and each different faction is so different with the things that they believe in, and some are human, some are transhuman, like where they all have all these crazy ass electronics on them. You've got aliens and you've got the chaos factions, and there's so much to entail that I decided to embark on this project to tell you what each and every single one of them is about, and what the Warhammer universe is about as well, to give at least a little bit of an intro to this extremely bloated but very, very enjoyable world that I and many others partake in. So I will be explaining every single faction in the Warhammer 40K universe, at least all the factions you can play as, and some smaller factions here and there. I will not be discussing absolutely everything in it because that is a little bit much, and I'm not going to go too mega deep into the lore. I'm going to give you a pretty solid overview of each of the different factions and have you learn a little bit about them, and we'll discuss a little bit of the tabletop as well in case you were curious about that. But for this episode entirely, we are discussing the Imperium of Man because that takes up a fat chunk of Warhammer lore.
Oh, boo-hoo.
What is Warhammer 40,000? Well, the 40,000 starts off is the year 40,000, the 41st millennium. That's where it takes place, is in the year 40,000, 41,000 AD. You're already more knowledgeable. Let me read you a quote, first of many quotes in this video. It is the 41st millennium. For more than 100 years, the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth. He is the master of mankind by the will of the gods, and master of 1,000,000 worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is a rotting carcass, writhing invisibly with power from the dark age of technology. He is the carrion lord of the Imperium, for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day so that he may never truly die. To be a man in such times is to be amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. These are the tales of those times. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned. Forget the promise of progress and understanding, for in the grim, dark future, there is only war. There is no peace amongst the stars, only an eternity of carnage and slaughter and the laughter of thirsting gods. Everything blows. And it blows fucking hard. Warhammer is probably the most dark and depressing universes ever in fiction, or at least like top 3. Everything is so absurdly horrible, destructive, or overpowered that it all kind of ends up canceling itself out. It's like Dota. War rages across the galaxy. Interstellar travel is only possible due to sacrificing 1,000 souls a day to a rotting carcass of a man who you believe to be your god. Demonic gods and just demons tear open the fabric of reality on a whim. Other Xenos or even other humans end up killing each other in untold billions across the galaxy. It is a time of unending war, slaughter, and a bloodbath amongst everybody. Planets are deemed unrecoverable and are completely destroyed on a whim. Everything sucks. But that's like the charm of it.
Everything
See,
sucks.
everything in Warhammer is evil. But being evil is kind of fun. Like humanity, in its own right, is a xenophobic, prejudice, and religious zealot group that kill each other just as much as they kill all of their enemies. And they're like mid to high tier evil on the evil scale of Warhammer. Nobody is good. No matter who you are, everyone is some flavor, some color of evil. Whoever you pick, you are going to be the bad guy. But that's the fun of it. Because being the bad guy is badass. Villains are cool. They look cool. They got cool outfits. They got cool weapons. They got cool armies. Villains are cool, man. And when everyone is a villain, everyone is pretty cool. That's what makes this so charming, is that everyone can be the bad guy. So let's start off talking about the main bad guy, quote unquote, the Imperium of Man.
It's hair, whack. It's gear, whack.
I love
The
this clap.
Imperium of
Okay. Metroid Prime 3. Lit. Okay, so this is a question that I've been having for a while because I've heard multiple people say that everyone's the bad guy. And when they say that, there's obviously, within the Space Marines, I know there's the half that are the Chaos Space Marines, and there's the half that are like the Loyalist. Why are the Loyalists bad guys? I guess that part, because I assume that.
So,
you know.
from what my description, what I read, and this is just also just me speculating, the Imperium also are people that are just going out in the world and invading and killing things that aren't pure or to their god, in a sense.
Yeah, the religious shit.
Yeah,
The Imperium, but that's not the Loyalist Space Marines, are they? Or you just...
those are the
I'm talking about
Imperium.
Loyalist Space Marines specifically.
Yeah, so the Imperium are like in the same category as like regular
Space
humans.
Marines.
Yeah, all Space Marines.
Yeah, yeah.
But the Loyalists from what I'm getting, what you're saying are just the main Space Marine dudes that aren't.
That's the part. That's
Corrupted?
that's what I'm asking. Yeah, Chaos ones
so-
are the ones that decided. The half of the Legion decided to be bad.
So they're just going around and just invading and making everything all humans, pretty much. So they're just going around just killing just as much as the aliens are going and invading their space too.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, no side's good.
It's like everybody
Everyone's
got
killing
their
everybody.
different modes.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what it means by everyone's bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Seems like they all trying to conquer shit, really. Especially with the Emperor trying to get the little.
And I guess they all work for the Emperor, because I thought the Emperor was more like the good side of gods, and then you have all the Chaos gods and the warp. But it's seeming like the way they keep describing this man as a rotting, piece of carcass and this and that.
Motherfuckers all day.
Yeah,
just to
and
live and
yeah,
shit.
1,000
alive,
soul or
yeah.
1,000.
10,000.
Isn't 1,000 a day?
Yeah,
It's 1,000 a day.
That was 10,000 psyches a day.
Psychers, yeah,
Psychers.
yeah. I'm pretty sure it's 1,000. But again, you guys correct. Make sure we fill in all these gaps.
Is the main empire of the human race. All of humanity is under this one flag called the Imperium. And about 10,000 years ago, there was a man. He was the emperor of mankind, a 10-foot-tall psychic demigod who led humanity across the stars to colonize tons and tons of worlds, create superhuman soldiers, and really bring humanity into a new age. This man, the Emperor of Mankind, was a Psyker. And a Psyker is like a magician of sorts. In the world of 40K, there is the Warp, the Immaterium, kind of like Hell, but sort of like a purgatory dimension of Hell. And a Psyker is someone who can take that power and manifest it through their mind to use it to do stuff, like witchcraft stuff, magician stuff, spells, and lots of other things, but we don't want to get too into that. The Emperor, big boy Psyker. Top tier, A+, maybe even S. Now, the Emperor created a bunch of sons. Yes, created a bunch of sons known as the Primarchs. He created 18 Primarchs to have them lead all of the different legions of humanity to the different stars and planets to help colonize and bring it out. These Primarchs are basically like little versions of the Emperor. Not all of them are Psychers, but a lot of them are very, very powerful, and they lead his special Space Marine legions. Then this big clusterfuck happened called the Horus Heresy, where the Emperor's favorite son, the Primarch, Horus, ended up joining Chaos and leading 9 of the 18, half of his Primarchs directly to Earth to fight down the Emperor himself. Now, if you want to know what Chaos is, remember what I mentioned earlier? The Warp, that Immaterium, the hellish place? In there relies the 4 Chaos gods. Imagine like Satan and 3 other Satans. The Warp being kind of evil, those Chaos gods, that's the reason. And so those Chaos gods manipulated Horus, and then Horus helped manipulate all 8 other Primarchs to lead this giant coup directly on the Emperor on Earth. And they fucked up shit. After this huge civil war, Horus died, but not before brutally wounding the Emperor. And right at the end of his life, they put the Emperor on this large golden throne on Earth, in which he is now alive, just barely, but slowly rotting away, powering something called the Astronomicon, so long as he stays alive, and is fed 1,000 people a day. The Astronomicon is like the North Star. If you want to do interstellar travel in 40K, you need to pass through that demonic warp I mentioned earlier. But how do you know where you're going? Well, the Emperor is there putting a nice little navigator right there. He helps navigate you to know where you're going. If you want to go from Earth to some crazy solar system across the way, you need to go through that warp, and then you need to know where you're going, go through there, and pop your way out. It's like doing nether travel in Minecraft, so you can shorten the distance between going to areas. So long as the Emperor is alive and being fed 1,000 people a day to stay alive, you can do that. The moment he dies, interstellar travel's gone for all of humanity. You're so boned. Now, since the Horus Heresy 10,000 years ago, the Imperium has fallen from grace substantially. All technology has started to dwindle and die. There is now giant fundamental religious extremists that now believe the Emperor of Mankind was a deity, a true living god, which is probably the last thing the Emperor would have wanted to be remembered for. So now you have this thing called the Ecclesiarchy, which is this giant church entirely devoted to spreading the good word of the Emperor. He is now the Holy Emperor God, the God Emperor of mankind, and all of the Imperium has taken up worshiping him to the fullest extent and killing anything that isn't humanity in his name. The Imperium has this futuristic Gothic tone to it and a hefty religious zealotry to them. If you think anything against the Emperor, that's heresy and you deserve to die. That is called being a heretic. Heretics die in 40K. There is no such thing as freedom of religion. There is no such thing as freedom of speech, so long as you are against the Emperor. There is no such thing as any kind of tolerance. Everyone is a religious zealot. Some more than others, but no matter what, you're preaching that good word. So right now, everyone in humanity is trying to expand their empire across the stars. If you are a heretic, someone who doesn't believe in the Emperor, you are deserving of death. If you believe in the Chaos Gods, you are also a heretic and you deserve death. If you are an alien race of any kind, you are a filthy Xenos and you deserve death as well. So long as the murder continues and humanity expands, the Imperium of Man is very, very happy. However, the largest fighting force of this Imperium is my personal favorite faction, and the first faction we will discuss, the Astra Militarum, or also known as the Imperial Guard.
Pretty shit now, man. You finished. That's it, man. Game over, man.
The Imperial Guard is the main.
These are great clips.
Game over, man. Game over.
Imperium Guard. Okay.
They put that man on life support. He gotta get 1,000 souls a
day. Like, damn. It's a lot of souls. But that's crazy that he said that that's not what he would want to
be remembered
as. It's like that God figure. So it's like, it's crazy they're killing all of these people in his name. And it sounds like he's like, that's not even necessarily what I want. Is that the understanding I'm getting?
Shit, that motherfucker died. I heard it can't travel no more. I'm pretty sure. So
back to traveling through the warp, I guess.
I'm about to offer up thousands, I guess, just so I can travel back and forth to.
Yeah.
Well, talk about a day. And this man's been alive for 10,000 years.
A lot of days. I mean, I guess the universe is huge too, so it's like
they probably travel and snatch niggas up.
Yeah. Probably slaving hell people.
Yeah, because I know each of the legions have their own planets too, right?
Yeah.
So on each planet, 1,000's not that much,
Well,
you kill 100 people on each
What if you
planet?
get a letter in the mail talking about them motherfuckers coming to pick you up in 24 hours because you're a part of the 1,000 that they gotta pick up?
Oh,
Well, you have to be a psyker, I think. Yeah, so you have to be like a magic
psyker.
user. Man, I'd be training like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Or somebody that don't
probably
believe
still
in
die,
God.
but you said what?
Or somebody that don't believe in God, basically.
Believe in him, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what it seemed like.
Yep.
that's
Unpopular opinion.
Well, yeah, those people just get killed for the sake of killing. But yeah, as far as sacrifices, I think they need to be psyker because they probably like absorbs the magical energy or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I like how he's like the father as well to like all these different faction leaders.
Yeah.
In a way, so they're almost like, hey, praise my father. It's
I think Warhammer is gonna be hard for me. No good guys, nobody to cling on to for, you know what I'm saying? But it seemed like they got good guys, but it's not really good guys because the 9 people that were convinced to come over and fight the damn.
Yeah, the 9 different legions. Yeah. And I mean, out of line.
So is that the good?
See, that's what I was asking earlier. I was just like, so why are they considered bad? Because I'm like, I have to have somebody to kind of root for, huh? And I guess you just, like you were saying in the game, you just pick whatever legion you want to, whatever you believe in, and just follow that route. Which,
Pretty much.
Yeah. I would imagine that it's like, it's not so much that they're all bad, but it's almost like Punisher, right? Punisher's not a good dude, but he is a good dude.
Yeah.
He's a vigilante, so he is a bad dude. He's crushing people's skulls in and whatnot. But like, if you can get behind that cause, then cool. I don't know. It's same as like Daredevil, right? He goes beating people unconscious in the middle of the night. It's like, is that a great man?
It's like choosing between like the 7 deadly sins. What do you want to have? Gluttony? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Main fighting force of the Imperium, and in a world of horrifying creatures, galactic monstrosities, the literal demons themselves breaking through the fabric of time to kill you, the Imperial Guard are untold billions of regular men and women wearing modern day, like flak armor with a laser rifle. This is the humble las gun, the main weapon of the Imperial Guard. It fires superheated plasma lasers at an extremely fast fire rate. It is reliable, never jams. It can blow off limbs, giant holes in concrete.
Damn.
It is overall an extremely devastating weapon in modern day. It is one of the weakest in the 40K universe. Yeah, a laser rifle that never jams, it could blow off limbs, one of the weakest weapons.
Jeez.
That's the world we're in right now. But who cares? Because the Imperial Guard has, in each battle, 500,000 of these men and women. 30,000 large armored tanks, 10,000 artillery batteries. The Imperial Guard wins through sheer numbers and firepower. They kind of have this World War I, World War II style aesthetic with legions of guardsmen as well as high company commanders and generals on the field along with them, and multiple kinds of troops. A normal Imperial Guard battle starts off with artillery, long lines of artillery, cracking the crust of the planet underneath the enemy's feet. And as this barrage continues, hundreds of thousands of guardsmen, a sea of guardsmen surges forward, firing and charging at everything possible.
That's those big-ass
while the
machines.
planet rumbles as tanks roll up behind them. Gunships block out the sun, and tanks block out the
entire
dirt
Imperial
with the
Guard
steps
army
and
is causing
footprints
this to
of
happen.
millions of guardsmen. It is through numbers
Guardsmen,
and
that's what I
sheer
heard about that.
sundering firepower. They are the first and last line of defense for the Imperium and make up a huge bulk of the battles. The Imperial Guard is also made up of tons of different kinds of regiments. The Catachan jungle fighters live in a death world that's
Right.
more hospitable than almost any firefight they'll ever
murder
get
Rambo.
into. So they just have this
Rambo was a
steroid-looking,
murderer.
giant knife,
Alien
Rambo
versus Predator.
Predator-looking sons of bitches,
Right.
where nothing is anywhere near as scary as a simple night on their home planet. You have the Valhallan winter soldiers who haven't felt their toes in
this is
300
dope.
years,
They got
the
different-
Mordian Iron Guard, who are more interested in making their shoes shine than actually fighting a battle, and then of course the big one, the Cadians from Cadia. The biggest export of guardsmen in the entirety of the Imperium.
Why?
You will fire your first gun at 5. You will disassemble and reassemble it at 10. You will have pounding artillery drills day in and day out at 15. And you'll fight your first swarm lord at 16. And if you mention Cadia, you will burst into an unrelenting amount of tears and sadness like I do daily. To quote, I have at my command an entire battle group of the Imperial Guard, 50 regiments including specialized drop troops, stealthers, mechanized formations, armored companies, combat engineers, and mobile artillery. Over 500,000 fighting men and 30,000 tanks and artillery pieces are mine to command. Emperor, show mercy to the fool that stands against me, for I shall not. The Imperial Guard are my personal favorite faction in 40K. They're the army I collect the most, the ones I enjoy playing the most, and the one I enjoy in the lore sense a lot. There's something about just a regular man with a laser rifle being told to charge the horrors of this universe and willingly doing so for his god emperor. It's just
Shout out Krillin.
poetic. They actually represent the main Imperial Guard tactics pretty well. Large amounts of
Yamchas.
artillery that doesn't require a line of sight, lots of tanks, tons of infantry, drop troops, and gunships. Overall, they're pretty similar to how they sound, though a little bit expensive to collect, unfortunately. And they don't hit a lot. They have a bit of a bad aim, but you don't really care because you're just drowning them in shots. However, if you want more accurate fire and specialization, we can move on to talk about Space Marines.
Angel of Death.
The Angels of Death are up next. Space Marines are genetically engineered super soldiers and superhumans. They're given extra organs, their skin tissue is toughened, their bones are stronger, they're taller than the average person. They're pretty massive people, and these are the specialized super soldiers that carry out a lot of the more specific tasks for the Imperium. And there's tons of legions of them. In fact, there's one per Primarch. Each Primarch, the Emperor's son, as I mentioned before, oversees their legion of Space Marines. The genetic upgrade they get is based on the genes of said Primarch, something called a gene seed. That's what brings them up to this like superhuman level. As stated, each Primarch has their own legion. Robot Girly Man has the Ultramarines, Jagatai Khan has the White Scars, Rogel Dorn has the Imperial Fists, Corvus Corax has the Raven Guard, and there's a whole bunch of other side sections that are also extremely interesting and have a little bit more of a twist on the average Space Marines, which we will discuss in a bit. Humorously enough, I don't have a whole lot to say about Space Marines. They're superhumanly fast. In fact, it's been said that nothing that large should move that quick. These men in power armor moving at blazing fast speeds, their reflexes are faster, their skin is tougher. They are overall just extremely powerful soldiers. In fact, where they differ comes down to which Space Marine Legion we're talking about. For instance, the Ultramarines done by Robot Gilliman are the main blue boys, strong in almost every way, the jack of all trades kind of group that are a little bit too strong, and that's a lore problem, but the White Scars by Jagatai Khan are all about speed freaks, go fast. We're talking attack bikes, we're talking land speeders. You want to go in quick, you want to hit them hard, you want them to be swarming around like buzzflies, buzzsaws, with the speed of buzzsaws. Fuck you, Pale King.
Yeah, you might. I'll fuck with him, bro.
Fire in the forge, fire in battle. Flamers, melta guns, multi-meltas. Just so long as something can be burning, that's big. And they're also actually some of the nicest of the Space Marines. A lot of Space Marines have this kind of like holier than thou thing because of their genetic strength. However, the Salamanders tend to put human lives above the lives of themselves, which is actually rather rare. They're also all black, but not like just regular black.
Oh my God.
2 a.m. line at a White Castle.
Yo.
Black. Like they have a charcoal.
This motherfucker.
And blazing red eyes.
Oh,
Apparently
man.
something about living on their home planet of Nocturne, which I don't.
Hold on, but this man's features are still of a black man.
for sure.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. I mean, I think there was. Hold on, let me.
He was trying to save himself. He said,
This guy's not though. That's definitely like a Chad.
he said no, like a White Castle black.
Exterior and blazing red eyes. Apparently something about living on their home planet of Nocturne, which I don't know if that makes much sense, but who cares? This is like fantasy land anyway. Overall, Salamanders are actually one of my personal favorite legions because they're just really cool. They're fun to play as because of all their flamer weapons, and they have a nice, like, more heartwarming lore as opposed to being super evil like everyone else is. Oh my god, we're not even a quarter of the way through the Space Marine Legions. Imperial Fists believe in the power of the siege and defensive positions. Raven Guards, master of stealth and sabotage while having bird helmets. Iron Hands, masters of machines and vehicles while being really goddamn good at being sold on eBay after one nerf. Space Wolves, Vikings and wolves and tons of wolves and axes, battle axes, fur everywhere. Space Wolves, angry, big teeth.
Space Wolves.
Blood Angels, the genetic defect to make them want to drink blood and go crazy, called the Red Thirst. They have Cupid wings and stuff, which is a little bit strange, and they are all super gay for Sanguinius. Dark Angels are old school knights and inner circle theme, and
Are you a heretic?
Me? No, never.
What?
Once in a blue moon, I know.
Death Watch, a fancy anti-Xenos
Beetlejuice.
group that nobody plays because Death Watch, and they look cool though, but no one plays them. I don't know about Death Watch. They're there though. Black Templars, for the people who, if you haven't prayed at least 3 times a day, you're gonna start praying out that airlock. And I'm sure there's some other chapters I may have missed as well, like Crimson Fists and stuff. But those are the main ones right here. Here, quote from the Emperor himself. They shall be my finest warriors, these men who give of themselves to me. Like clay I shall mold them, and in the furnace of war I shall forge them. They shall be of iron will and steely sinew. In great armor I shall clad them, and with the mightiest weapons shall they be armed. They will be untouched by plague or disease, no sickness shall blight them. They shall have such tactics, strategies, and machines that no foe will best them in battle. They are my bulwark against the terror. They are my defenders of humanity. They are my space marines, and they shall know no fear. And on the tabletop, they fuck. Oh, they fuck hard. As of making this video, Space Marines are laughably strong. That might change at some point, but overall, Space Marines just have it's like a Swiss Army knife, a tool for anything you need, except it's like a gold-plated Swiss Army knife. It is extremely strong. If you are actually getting into the tabletop of Warhammer, Space Marines are a great start. Also, whatever gameplay style you have, whether you want to be sit back with long range and heavy weaponry, go fast and run in, or even just full melee, all of these options are totally there for you. Space Marines are super badass, but unfortunately, it's time we start praying to our new god, the 2011 Honda Civic.
So is it any wonder people are afraid of technology?
Technology! The Adeptus Mechanicus. The Adeptus Mechanicus are a technophile cult on Mars. Now, these people are a little bit weird because they don't actually really believe in the Emperor of Mankind. And you might think, oh, whoa, Bricky, that sounds like some heresy.
Get out of here.
A little bit. They believe in the Emperor, they believe in his power, but they don't pray to him. They pray to something called the Omnissiah. And the Omnissiah is this kind of machine god that they believe permeates in all machines. And if you think, well, wait a minute, they believe in a different god as well? That sounds like super heresy. Well, yes-ish, but they also make all your guns, and they make all whatever you want to. And they make everything that you have, so you can't really tell them to fuck off, because you're not going to win nothing if you don't got stuff to shoot people with. See, their Omnissiah at least makes sense from their standpoint. They believe it to be a deity that permeates through all machines. Your Honda Civic, your standard bolt gun, your Dune Strider Walker, your giant mechs, your huge ships. The Omnissiah is present through all. And the only reason your stuff works is because the machine's spirit in it says it works. If you want your gun to work, your tank to run, you must pray to it. And I mean full stop. You need to start chanting in high Gothic. You need to burn incense. You need to sit on your knees and pray to that car. You need to rub oil on your robes. And you need to go, ahomina. Full stop. If you want your damn thing to work, if you want your gun to fire, you need to do that. They are very bizarre, and they actually have a bit of a point because it's obviously working. And if you look at them, I don't know how that works, so they obviously know something about what they're doing. The most notable member of the Adeptus Mechanicus is Archmagos, whatever, Belisarius Call. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Yeah. This is the group we're talking about. These are these weirdos. Here, the Omnissiah Creed. The credo, Omnissiah. There is no truth in flesh, only betrayal. There is no strength in flesh, only weakness. There is no constancy in flesh, only decay. There is no certainty in flesh, but death. Flesh is weakness, flesh is death. The Omnissiah is the god of the machines, and if you wish to be whole, if you wish to be holy, if you wish to give unto him, you must saw down your limbs and remove your organs and replace them with mechanical parts, because that is what he wants, and that is how you will become enlightened. Hard techno.
Theory. What if the god they were praying to was Victor from League of Legends and he time traveled crazy, right? Mind blown. All right. All right, let's go back.
You just stopped it just to say that.
Just to say that.
Mixed with religious extremism. That's a
lot of fucking right
now,
there.
for their army side of things, they are with the Skitarii. The Skitarii operate with very bizarre weaponry and lots of different kinds of vehicles, tanks, and different people in between. They're very weird, but they have extremely wacky and enjoyable, and in fact quite effective, both in the real game and in the lore, weaponry and gear. Overall, as an army on the tabletop, they're very weird and have a whole bunch of different shenanigans, but if you like kind of that quirky, wacky techno thing, I'd give them a pickup. Hell, They're so paranoid. I gotta keep going. They're so paranoid and crazy. These Dune Striders you see right here, one guy was able to make them work. One guy, and he died. And they're so scared they'll never work again that they keep them on and they never turn them off, and they run around in a circle the whole time until they need them, and then they corral it and they go into battle. Yep.
Take out robot horses.
The Adeptus Mechanicus.
Wild ones.
Now, if you want to talk about faith, though, let's talk about the Sisters of Battle.
A simp has fallen for an eagle in Lego City.
The Sisters of Battle of the Adeptus Sororitas, if that's how I pronounce it correctly, is an all-female group of battle sisters going through the ecclesiarchy section of...
I want to see how to spell that.
Sororitas. You're welcome.
Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
You're the
Here all
best.
week.
You would have spelled it out, I still would have looked up there, so fuck off.
That's totally fine. I'm here all week, like I said.
You know, we're not going to keep doing this on the camera.
Can't
I'll talk
stop,
to you
won't
after
stop.
the camera.
What's wrong with our group today?
Nothing.
What's
Oh,
happening?
man. He know what he did.
We're
Hey, that
going
energy
in the
drink.
dark depths of this rabbit
Hey,
hole.
there ain't no good guys here.
No.
Not at all.
For an eagle in Lego City.
The Sisters of Battle of the Adeptus Sororitas, if that's how I pronounce it correctly, is an all-female group of battle sisters going through the ecclesiarchy section of the Imperium. The ecclesiarchy is, of course, the church. This is, imagine a private army of the church, which is scary. And it is. The sisters are an extremely zealotous force, and they take this to a full extreme. They believe in three main things: faith, martyrdom, and fire. Through the bolter, the flamer, and the melta, the Sisters of Battle are extremely potent at taking out chaos and heretics. Mainly heretics, because as they are a fighting section of the ecclesiarchy church, that's the big thing they want to kill. Any form of heretic will face the Emperor's justice through those three main weapons: the bolter, the flamer, and the melta, and they will do so with extreme prejudice. Literally. They are the closest things we have to nuns in space. And I'm talking
That's what I was thinking.
hardcore nuns. They carry holy fire on their backs. They have holy books and sigils all across their armor. Their main battle tank is a fucking pipe organ missile launcher. They have small babies that they have removed their brain capacity to make them little servant cherubs to fly around and give them ammunition and shit.
That's fucking
They drop churches from low orbit.
So you motherfuckers, they don't have abortion. They
Jesus Christ. Wow.
Where do they get these babies from?
they have them, bro.
But with what men? Because they're all...
The regular men.
Bro, they
Imperial
probably,
Knights.
they
Imperial
probably
Knights.
think about the motherfuckers that they killing this shit. They probably raping these niggas, bro.
That's what I was wondering, because where they were at, they said it was all female guard. But yeah, you're saying Imperial Guard people.
Holy shit, bro.
Huh.
Damn.
Heretics.
Because they're technically on the same, under the same group. Because they serve and protect the Emperor. Right?
Yeah, but they all have their own planets, right?
But they more so fighting
So
for
I
the
don't
church,
know if,
bro.
but I guess they'll probably have... Are there Imperial Guards all women, too?
No.
No, they're just regular...
think-
Imperial
yeah,
Guards is just
yeah.
the individual... Yeah, I don't know.
I like the way he describes shit. It's easy to remember, man. These motherfuckers, the AKA Nun Knights.
I know, right? I literally
The
wrote
Nun Knights.
Space Nuns. I was like, oh, that's great. I'll remember that. Jeez, the babies.
Yeah, I don't know about these, man. They sick.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're...
Fuck.
Out of all of these groups, I don't think there's too many female groups from what I see, right?
No.
So I feel like they would have to be a certain level of intense to be able to...
I feel like they raping people and a lot of gay lovers, bro. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure with as dark as this, yeah.
If they're
Oh,
religious,
just-
if they're
yes.
religious, hardcore religious people, like he say they are, I don't think they're gonna go.
But
like,
This is
not-
not this
not
religion.
our
This is not this
This is
religion.
different.
Oh,
This is
yeah,
Emperor
yeah,
religion.
yeah,
This
yeah.
isn't...
I'm getting.
They ain't
You got too
Catholics,
deep
bro.
in it.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, Derek, you're wrong, brother.
Christianity.
Bro, they having babies.
And then taking their brains out. You're like, hey, as long as
yeah.
I don't even know my brain. Okay, how long do we got?
This video gonna be
28
2 hours,
minutes?
bro.
Yeah. Okay, let's jump back in. Sorry, y'all. This work with this here. This is a lot for our
As
cerebellum.
mini drop pods
get this going.
onto battles. They drop churches into battles, and they blare war hymns and holy music from their frigates in low atmosphere and shower holy water across the battlefield. These are the people you are dealing with, and they're fucking awesome. They can literally stave off demons on the tabletop.
Ugh, he looked like he
because
stink.
their faith is that strong. Remember the warp, the demons from the warp? Well, the warp also manifests in your mind. All of your emotions, negative and positive, go through the warp. It's the immaterium, the place of all things. So if you are that mentally fortified, that mentally strong, you can stave off horrifying demons. And all these girls, oh, not a crack. Not a crack in that mental armor. Now, as much as a meme as they are, and as much as their models look a lot like Ongo Gabloglian, yeah, which I can't unsee anymore. I gotta say,
That's crazy.
I love their design.
I like the
I
design,
think they're
too.
extremely cool. They're another army that I'm
white,
currently collecting.
They all
just
have
released a
white
whole
hair.
new
I just
line of
noticed that.
figures very recently, and they look
It might
wonderful.
just be the way that
Everything
these people
from
painted their
Celestine,
shit.
Yeah.
the living,
You have to paint
literally
your own army.
undying saint, from the triumph of Saint Catherine, which is literally a funeral procession as a model. Those organ tanks I mentioned earlier.
But he probably-
this shit
they probably
is the
painted
most
it based off the
over-the-top
lore,
badassery in a lot of the Warhammer universe, and goddamn it, is it over the top. But Sisters of Battle are so cool. While I'm a guardsman at heart, oh, this is such a cool faction. By Bolter Shell, Flamer Burst, and Melta Blast, the mutant, the heretic, and the traitor alike are cleansed of their sin of existence. So it has been for 5 millennia, so shall it be until the end of time.
That was the
And
shortest
Speaking
one too.
of burning demons,
I can see
Very nice.
Very nice.
the Grey Knights are the first army I actually collected back in 7th edition. The Grey Knights are a super secretive and much more old school look at power armored knights, except they are all psychers. All of them have that crazy space magic magician shit.
Damn.
For every 100,000 guardsmen, there's 1 Grey Knight. For every 10,000 Sisters of Battle, there's 1 Grey Knight. For every 1,000 Space Marines, there's 1 Grey Knight. Grey Knights are the strongest of the strong, both in mental will and absolute just strength. These are Space Marines that are all high-level psychers, all of them able to specifically do one goal, and that is kill demons. The Emperor believed that the demons of chaos were the #1 threat to the Imperium, and he probably is right. However, this group is entirely based on doing that through a myriad of tactics. Coming from the planet, or I guess the moon of Titan in the Sol system, the Grey Knights are thrown through extremely rigorous training and are as clear of mind and soul as they possibly can be. Since the demons of the warp are the warp and your mind projects to the warp, people can go insane very fast, especially lower level psychers. These Grey Knights need to be able to harness the warp in the presence of demons and stay perfectly sane. One of their characters, one of my favorite characters, is named Castellan Crow. He has a demon blade, the black blade of Mahamahama, and he has to have it on him because it tempts everyone nearby, constantly beckoning them, use my power, use my strength, suck my penis, whatever the possibility. And so he has to keep it on him all the time as this thing whispers to him consistently, and he has to stave it off forever, being alone in his chambers or on the battlefield, because anyone who gets too close to it might be tempted a little too hard. He is that pure of heart and mind, and all the characters in the Grey Knights are basically like that. The only issue is that the Grey Knights have a scorched earth policy, more ways than one. If they're fighting demons, demons corrupt and make people crazy. So if I'm a guardsman and I'm fighting demons and the Grey Knights arrive and they kill all the demons, I'm a risk. And so guess who's not making it out of there? On the tabletop, they're very
What the fuck are they marking off everybody?
They're marking
They
themselves and
teleport
everybody
all around
else,
the
yeah.
place. They are fast strike groups,
That's
small
crazy.
amounts of models because they're so dang strong. You only have
Holy.
so many characters,
They're
but
killing themselves too?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Jeez.
From what he just explained.
Oh.
Because a demon corrupt people and things all around them.
Oh. I thought he was just saying like the other people, like Mark.
Well, I would assume they would kill all the other people too.
Just-
they
yeah.
came in
All
contact
right,
with the
just-
demons.
Let's just hear it real
Yeah.
quick.
on the battlefield, because anyone who gets too close to it,
shit.
to have it on is
Shit.
my strength. Suck my pee.
Okay,
Of course.
To him
Of course, I'll go back to that part.
consistently, and he has to stave it off forever, being alone in his chambers or on the battlefield, because anyone who gets too close to it might be tempted a little too hard. He is that pure of
Damn,
heart
how did I
and
go back?
mind, and all the characters in the Grey Knights are basically like that. The only issue is that the Grey Knights have a scorched earth policy, more ways than one. If they're fighting demons, demons corrupt and make people crazy. So if I'm a guardsman and I'm fighting demons and the Grey Knights arrive and they kill all the demons, I'm a risk. And so guess who's not making it out of there? On
Yeah,
the
I think they're just saying
tabletop,
they're
they're
killing
very
all the
strike
guardsmen.
fast.
yeah,
Just to make sure
They teleport all around the place. They are fast strike groups, small amounts of models because they're so dang strong. You only have so many characters, but with it, you get in there, you're very tough, very tanky, you hit really hard, and you try to bounce around the battlefield quickly, but you don't have numbers, and so every dead Grey Knight hits really
Their
damn
designs
hard.
look dope.
They're fun, though, if you like that kind of fast striking kind of army. Oh, and also, Caldor Drago is a thing. We're not even going to get into Caldor Drago. All right, that is, oh my goodness gracious. I am the hammer. I am the mail about his fist. I am the spear in his hand. Though we are lost, I am the shield on his arm. I am the flight of his arrows. I am the hammer. I am the sword. I am the shield. I am a soldier at the battle at the end of time.
Damn.
Grey Knights are pretty hardcore. They are as holy as you can get for a Space Marine. If you like Space Marines and you want to, you don't think they're holy enough, you want to be holier? Grey Knights. Now, if you want to be holier and big, let's talk Imperial Knights.
Oh, Lord, he coming!
Do you like gigantic walkers the size of homes or medium-sized buildings? Do you want to kill heretics, but you want to kill like 40 of them per turn? Do you want a gigantic old-school knight noble house style of walkers with giant chainsaw arms? Then you got Imperial Knights. Imperial Knights, it's not a whole lot to talk about them because they're just gigantic walkers, but they have this old school like house feel to them, like literally like they're houses. Each Imperial Knight comes from a house, and each of them act in their own special way. These behemoth of walkers also destroy almost everything in their path, killing full swaths of squads in a couple shots, stepping on legions of troops. Like, these things do not mess around. And they look so cool. Imperial Knights and Chaos Knights, actually, for that matter, don't have a whole lot to discuss. They're just super big, heavy walkers, and they look different depending on your house or Chaos God you currently believe in. And overall, these things are just really cool if you want to murder everything in your path. They're the big, scary, big unit of Warhammer, and if you want to collect them, go to town. They make for a great painting project, too. Getting more back down to earth, let's talk something about a little bit different, a little more gold. If guardsmen are regular soldiers, Space Marines are super soldiers, Grey Knights are super soldiers, the Adeptus Custodes are super soldiers cubed. The Adeptus Custodes are the third major army I own. I know, 3 armies. I know, I got carried away, okay? But that's all. I only have 3, okay? They are our final brand of Space Marines, but these ones are super special, okay? If a guardsman is 6 foot, a Space Marine is 7 feet, a custodian is 8 feet. These are the giant defenders of Holy Terra, which is also Earth. Earth is Terra, Terra, themselves. These are the people that literally guard the Emperor's throne room, hence Custodes. These boys protect the Emperor's throne room at all times and are literally like handcrafted people. They're not humans brought up by a gene seer or something. These are all handcrafted super soldiers. Wow. I think from a tube. These behemoth of men are like 8 feet, 8.5 feet tall and functionally immortal. They stand still, spear in hand, for hundreds of years without the need to sleep and barely even the need to eat, watching over the throne room and every other area of Holy Terra for their entire purpose in life. And oh my lord, are they terrifying. These custodians put Space Marines to shame. If you liked your super soldiers, these are your super mega soldiers. One of these men can take on probably 3 Space Marines and most likely win. There are many different groups of custodians as well, like the Solar Watch, or there's also one of my personal favorite, the Aquilon Shield. The Aquilon Shield go out to seemingly unimportant individuals and protect them because they believe that they are going to be doing something very important in their lives. For instance, let's say a regular guardsman gets the protection of this giant 8.5-foot tall golden god because that guardsman will end up becoming a general one day or something of that nature. The custodians work in mysterious ways and are almost always outnumbered but never outmatched. These people are pretty horrifying, both on the tabletop as well as in the lore. There are very few of them, however, and there's actually an extremely small amount of them, but that's kind of the point. There's only so many of these people that can have war gear this strong, weapons this powerful, and training this good. And the custodians have all 3 of it. For 100 years, I stood my watch amidst the somber shadows of the Sanctum Imperialis. I was still as a statue, but always ready, always attuned to dangers unseen. Days, months, years passed by in a frenzied blur beyond those walls, yet within, little moved and nothing changed. For 100 years, I did not but wait, yet had any threat appeared, I would have struck it down in a heartbeat. For 100 years, I stood my watch, and as it ends, I can tell you this: patience is a weapon. The custodians are the top dogs of the Imperium, and they hurt just that same way. Though I do want to discuss a little bit about the Sisters of Silence before we get out of here. Because the Sisters of Silence I also have a few of, and they're really fun, but they don't get enough attention. These kind of bald plume ladies are a whole group of pariahs, or also known as blanks. We'll be referring to them as blanks from now on. So as every mind is somewhat connected to the warp, these blanks are a genetic mutation that has it suppressed heavily. Because of that mind suppression, normal people feel this weird, like, uncomfortable nature when around them. When a Sister of Silence walks past them, you feel ill. You feel just uncomfortable and strange. So most of them don't actually live past childhood, because once they are birthed, they're, well, you know, killed or something at a very young age, because they just emit a horrifying aura. These ladies, however, are guardians of the throne as well for more psychic threats. See, none of the custodians are psychers, so they have a difficult time dealing with major demons and other kinds of psychic phenomena. These sisters are extremely specialized in it, all of them taking a vow of silence as they don't speak, hence the term Sisters of Silence, but they communicate through hand gestures and things of that nature. But if there's a demon issue, if there's any kind of warp-based problem, the sisters are extremely adept at dealing with them, thanks to their blank gene. They normally work a lot of time with the custodians because they have to deal with both kinds of threats, but they're not represented that way on the tabletop. In fact, they only have like one real model for them, which is very unfortunate. I hope they'll get some like news soon, because I think they should really be working together as it is that way in the lore, but hopefully we'll get there soon. But if we're talking about blanks, let's talk assassins.
Okay. Damn, assassins look dope.
Damn. Assassins do look dope.
Dude in the middle looks like he's an alien and a predator. And an abomination.
Abomination.
Okay. Quick. I want to talk about that at the end of it too.
It's been a long video. We're about to round it out. We got this and one more human thing, and then we're done. The assassins, though, the Officio Assassinorum, oh boy, these people are deadly. Yeah, they're called assassins. They should be, but oh man, these people will mess you up. So these are from the Officio Assassinorum, a very special organization, and they are handpicked by the Grand Master of the Officio Assassinorum from the what was it called? Scola Progenium. it's basically an orphan school. Your parents got murdered by demons or something, you get sent to this and you get trained to be whatever. Tempestus drop troop, an inquisitor maybe even, maybe you get a blank gene and you get thrown into the Sisters of Silence, or sometimes you just disappear. When you are taken, however, you go to one of 4 temples because the Assassinorum works in the temple style of things. These temples are the Vindicare, Caluxus, Calidus, and Eversor temples. Let's start with the Vindicare. I'm far away. I've been sitting here for 3 weeks. Poof! The Vindicare temple is the main sniper-based temple. Gigantic sniper rifles for all these assassins. Their whole point is to be able to be in a spot and sit there, eye and scope, for weeks, waiting for their perfect target, taking people out from literal miles away after extremely long time periods. The Vindicare temple is about precise, perfect aim. There have been reports of Vindicares being able to single out particular body parts from over 2-3 miles away. Temples in the head, the jugular, for instance, and been sitting there after weeks. And when they're ready, take that shot, time is done, packs them up. The Calidus temple, however, is a lot more about shape-shifting and deviant art. It's mostly a female-based one, or at least it seems to be, and this allows a lot of body augmentation for certain individuals to be able to kind of transmorph themselves and infiltrate areas that are problems. These assassins will end up taking missions that take them years, 2-3 years, to infiltrate a heretical group and slowly work their way up just to get enough time to put a bullet into the main target's head.
It's hard not to see an assassin girl and think Black Widow. I noticed the moment I seen her, I was like, damn, Black Widow. And I think that just shows how much, power, I guess, resonance that Black Widow has. I was also thinking G.I. Joe when I seen the whole group. Like, I was thinking Snake Eyes at first. But.
And then escape unharmed. Or become the main target and sabotage it from within. These are all completely about deception, mind tricks, polymorphing, and everything in between. And lots of drawings. The Eversor Temple. Just kind of disturbing one. The Eversor Temple is about when you don't want anything to come back alive, friend or foe. You want it all dead. An Eversor is psychogenically conditioned with just psychotherapy and psychological torture to only feel violence, hatred, and anger. It does the Clockwork Orange style of thing of just making you forced to watch never-ending pain and misery and psycho conditioning, I guess is the term. And then they pump you full of tons of psychedelic drugs and they cryo-freeze you. And then they drop you in an area where they just want to make sure everything is dead. And then you defrost, full of just all this insane, mind-boggling psychotherapy and psychedelic drugs, and you just go to town. Yeah, if you don't care if anyone comes back alive. Christ. You're like, all right, lost cause, send them in. Finally, there's the most bizarre temple, the Caluxus Temple. The Caluxus assassins are feared even among the other temples. So that blank gene, the people will go to the Caluxus Temple with this as well. And this is where they can harness that to be massively anti-psyker or even just anti-regular people. They are seen with extreme fear and distrust among many, many people. They are described by the Eldar by quote as being pure evil. Imagine that uncomfortable feeling from that blank gene I mentioned, and then imagine them being taught and given equipment to amplify it by 100. Damn. If normally regular people feel uncomfortable, now they are basically akin to being a siren wailing directly in your ear. And if you're a psyker, oh no. The sheer presence of a Caluxus assassin is enough for you to tear your skin off. You will rather gouge your eyes out and rip your nails off than even being near this person. The Caluxus assassin is when you want psychers to literally lose their minds, and they will go on their knees and ask you to gun them down because it is a suitable choice over being anywhere near you. The motto of that temple is, "That which is unknown and unseen commands the greatest fear." Now, for the tabletop, assassins aren't that special. You can call them in no matter what Imperium faction you are, and they do a lot of work for themselves, but at the same time, they're very specialized and require a lot of finesse. And they work the way you generally want them to, though. You want to cause some distortion and weird stuff, you take a Calidus. You want to just murder swaths of infantry and then blow up Eversor. You want to kill that one guy, Vindicare, and if you have a lot of Psychers, Caluxus. It's a nice little, like, jack of all trades if you have a specific thing you want to kill. And you get to choose which is really fun. But now, let's talk about the last human faction. We can round this video out before we do part 2, the Inquisition. And we have a lot to talk about with them.
Inquisition. What did you guys put for that last group of assassins? I couldn't even figure out like a keyword or anything.
Assassination Orium. That's what I put.
I just put.
That's the name of the group, but like I just meant for like what?
Oh my bad. I just put pure evil. Psychers hate them, and their aura is like alone makes you want to kill yourself.
Yeah, I feel like it kind of felt like the Psycho one, but like I couldn't really.
It's like
more evil.
It's like an enhanced version of the first the temple that came before that.
The blank.
It's like the hatred, drugs, and then the motherfuckers go on and like they high as hell.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers like a advanced version of them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Out of all of the designs,
I like theirs, nigga.
Oh, I thought theirs were the ugliest.
Nah, I like. I don't know. The only reason I like theirs is just like, damn, is it up there? Kaiju number 8.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's their suits and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a monster dragon. They're like assassins.
Nah, it's just like the form, like the body and shit like that. All right, just click back on it a little bit. Bro, I'm telling you, the motherfuckers look just like us.
What?
So that vibe right there, they giving me right there.
I kind of see it because the head.
The face part, kinda.
It's just a skeleton face, you know.
Yeah, I really got like Alien or Predator or both, is what I kept thinking when I seen it. Oh no, man! Oh no! It's literally a robot head freak. It's like a dragon thing. It's great.
Forget it, man.
Kaiju.
Taiju number 8. Taiju number 2. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Oh boy.
Pencil.
Where do I even begin with the Inquisition? Take every secret police you can think of. The KGB, the Gestapo, the CIA, FBI, any of these kinds of people. And then mark it up by about 10 and give them the most power in the entire Imperium. No, you know what? How about this?
The whole galaxy.
This right here, it's not just a quote. This is the Imperial motto, the motto of the Inquisition. I apologize for my bad pronunciation. Innocentia nihil probat. Innocence proves nothing.
Jeez, what?
The most powerful organization in the Imperium, the secret police, their number one motto is innocence proves nothing. The Inquisition goes around like the secret police or like detectives to find issues in the Imperium. And they have different ordos depending on which one we're talking about. The Ordo Hereticus, the Ordo Xenos, the Ordo Malleus, for instance, and a whole bunch of other ones. Hereticus is obvious, they deal with heretics. Xenos tries to find alien threats, and Malleus is demons. They all have different specializations in what they're trying to go for as this Inquisitor. And that's what they're called, Inquisitors. Each of them, as an Inquisitor, has their own free reign to do as they wish. They may have a ship and a crew, and they go out to find problems and interrogate people a lot. They are above the law in every department over Space Marines. Now, the Space Marines might argue against them and stuff, and there might be a lot of blowback, but technically they are above them as Inquisitors. They are looking to investigate and figure out coups and cults and demonic incursions and possible Xenos issues like gene stealers or a new threat coming into an area. They're about learning that stuff and actually doing detective work. And memes aside, they're pretty good at it. The Inquisition having all of this power does make them a little bit power hungry and frantic sometimes. And yes, it is still a bad thing, but most of them are pretty good at their job. And they spend a lot of time being very diligent to make sure that all of these leads they follow are proper and correct. They're basically space detectives with just enormous power and sometimes a bit of a power complex. And we haven't even talked about Exterminatus yet. Exterminatus.
Well, he did.
Exterminatus is deeming a planet unfit to be saved. I deem that this planet is demon infested and taking it back will cost too many resources and is not worth it. I have now committed Exterminatus on this planet. I will now sign the death warrant of an entire Imperium planet as it is unfit to take and better to be destroyed than allow the enemy to hold it. This can mean saturation bombardment.
Damn.
This can mean cracking the planet's core and breaking it apart. Doesn't matter. Render this planet inhospitable to all life. Yes, the innocents proves nothing people are the only people who can choose this planet must die in its entirety.
That's fucked up.
Yeah,
That's
you're playing the
insane.
villain. Now, it is memed a lot, but most Inquisitors are very rare to do Exterminatus. Exterminatus is a very crazy thing. There's only so many worlds that you don't want to destroy all of them. Now, naturally, with the memes aside, there are some people who are a little bit rough on this one. But most Inquisitors generally don't like to do Exterminatus a ton, but it is an option they have. And it's a crazy option when you think about it. Secret Police Inquisition are unfortunately not represented on the tabletop very much. You generally kind of put one in your army if you like it. You have a couple special options there and some side content, but they're not really fleshed out very well, and personally they need a lot more stuff put in there, and they really need a lot more effort put into them, and they're not quite where I want them to be. Overall, the Inquisition makes for a lot of the best storytelling as well, because it's a little bit hard to talk about a big story of a whole bunch of Space Marines killing something, right? It's just a big battle story. It's not as interesting. Having that intrigue and that moral dilemma that an Inquisitor has makes for a lot better media. And honestly, the more people do it, I think it's better, because then it adds a little more humanity to the Warhammer horrible, horrible grimdarkness. And wow, we just finished the humans, all right? Come back for part 2 when we talk about Chaos and the Xenos, because we got to talk about the 4 Chaos gods and all the Chaos Marine legions and the Tau and the Necrons and the Orcs, and oh boy, we got a lot. I'll see you in part 2.
Jesus Christ.
Thanks, Bricky, for all that information.
It's a lot, man.
Nah, I appreciate it, bro. Making a long video, very entertaining.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
that's something
Space
that he
nuts.
definitely is doing some great shit. Because, yeah, an hour-long video. I mean, I guess we do hour-long videos, leak stuff. But I mean, even then we kind of make hour-long videos most of the time, right? Because we put multiple videos together. No, that's untrue. Necrit definitely has plenty of hour-long videos.
Right, 2 hour, 3 hour long videos.
Yeah, some long content too. So I guess we have done some stuff like this. But yeah, man.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like where do we go from here? I feel like it's crazy because I was primarily thinking about Imperial Guard and Space Marines, and then Orcs, and then Necrons and things like that. But just seeing all these different factions just within like the humans is kind of crazy.
There's a book within the book.
Yeah, exactly. And like I've seen the Assassin book. I saw that there was when we watched, was it Timeline video, or maybe top 5 pieces of media. I can't remember.
I think it might have been the top 5.
That one. Yeah, it might have been that one. But yeah, he was talking about all the different books at the end, and I had seen that one. I was like, oh, that looks interesting. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about some of the designs. I don't know how I feel in general, to be yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. I know. I think I just gotta let this soak in. Come back and talk about this in the next episode.
He kind of didn't make it that bad. Like just going off of this video alone, I feel like I can like kind of like formulate, get it together, piece it together. You know what I'm saying? Like have some type of like understanding.
Yeah. I like how we went back through just like the origin story and all these different things, and I was like, okay, I know that. So I felt a little bit more confident going into the rest of it, because I was like, okay, all right, progress is being made here. Yeah, there's some badass factions, though. There's some badass factions, honestly. But everyone's crazy. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out who's... Yeah, it sounded like the Salamanders seemed reasonably good. You know what I mean? No one's good, but like
Man.
they seemed okay. You know, they value human lives over their own. I don't know if that's a weakness and a mistake, or if that's, you know, if that gets them killed or whatever the case is, or if it actually, you know, comes off as noble. But yeah, outside of that, just killers, bunch of killers, man.
I'm gonna just look at it like this. I got homies on the streets, and you know they good people, you know, but they out here killing.
They good people to me, but
You know, but
yeah, that's wild.
that's how I'm gonna look at it. Some of them are good people to me.
Adeptus Custodians seem pretty dope. Honestly, I like a lot of these factions.
The Grey Knights are pretty dope.
Grey Knights were lit.
Yeah,
They seem really dope.
especially the one with the sword that he got to keep by his side.
Yep, all the time.
I feel like it makes me kind of value Space Marines a little bit more too, because they're not like, I thought they were like
All the
tank,
same.
too powerful tank
thought
type
he
of
was.
characters. And now that I see that there's Grey Knights, now I see that there's Adeptus Custodians and all these other people that are like more powerful than them. Now it kind of seems like they're like in the middle a little bit.
Yeah.
So now I can see them being, you know, having the challenges of going against these other people while also still being a high presence over, you know, the ones that they're killing, essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're kind of like right in the middle. So I kind of still like that faction.
The last one we gotta talk about, the Inquisitors, low key fucked up. They live by their motto and they just walk in there and like, I don't think you innocent. Blow this bitch up.
I know.
Blow this bitch up.
Right. And they could come over and overpower anybody with
Exactly.
the rank, which is crazy. Like how much of training or how much of the process that you have to even get to become an Inquisitor.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Position.
But it seems like some Space Marines, they can go through another series of training where they can like uplift themselves to a higher
To
power.
like a higher.
Yeah. I think I was reading some shit, and don't quote me on this, but it was just talking about like a first son or something like that, or of a Space Marine. Motherfuckers can up they shit up.
Oh, all the first the.
Something like that.
Yeah, all the
I gotta
first
go
sons.
back to my reading.
Yeah, you're right. I know. Gotta download this stuff. There was one other thing. I feel like the Battle Sisters seem like the craziest to me. Or between them and then the Assassin, the Psychos. I mean, they're just at a certain point. It's like how much is too much. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the Battle Sisters, or not the Battle Sisters. The
Adepta Sorority.
yeah, Battle Sisters. Yeah. The Battle Sisters seem like super crazy to me. And then by the time we got down to the Assassins, and they're like, yeah, they just pump them for all these drugs and all this hate, and they just let them go on the battlefield. It almost got to the point where I was like, that's a lot. I mean, the next group after that, where it was like pure evil. I'm like, what's more evil than, you know what I mean, than the previous? So now my brain can't even really fathom the level of, it just.
I mean, if you're going up
Yeah.
against demons and other aliens and other entities that are like way stronger than you, and they also have like the warp on their side, then it's kind of like, sure, we need as much help as we can get. Do we need to pump this guy full of drugs and send him on a solo mission? Sure, if we have to. Do we gotta send in Inquisition people to go and interrogate a group of people that are not holy to
Heretics.
Down or heretics? Yeah, let's go in and do it. I think it's just there in that world or that galaxy is just so much death and destruction. It's like how much of it's actually gonna affect you if you're gonna be worthy enough to stay there and live long enough to see it fruition and be better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we haven't even seen. Once we get to part 2, we'll see. More of the other side, the orcs. Like, how bad are they? And I guess in my head right now, I haven't seen the opposition. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah.
How bad the orcs are, how bad the rest of the Xenos are. But it seems like the humans are worse in my head. I already took it to the max with humans, so I don't really have a capacity to add Xenos in there and take it to a whole nother thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, so we shall see. We shall see. We appreciate you guys always, especially us being newer to Warhammer, trying to learn everything. I know we went on side talks and things like that, which you have to in these hour-long videos. You know what I mean? Otherwise, yeah.
Just a lot of questions that need to be answered. You know?
Facts.
Yeah, and he talks pretty quickly. Like, I feel like he covers a lot more content in his hour-long video than Necrit does in his hour-long videos.
This is how
you know what I mean?
teachers need to teach.
Just speed through everything.
Yeah, blank brains.
Yeah,
You want to go in there, balls deep. Like, what? You said a lot of like questionable things.
I know, engaging.
Yeah, they're not black people, but I mean, they're like the one.
White Castle burger.
like, what? If he would have said
That's
something like
hilarious.
Waffle Houses, it would have been over.
Wow.
I would have laughed my ass off.
I got one thing to say. Hey, if you made it this far, man, go ahead and drop a like and comment. Appreciate y'all for making it this far.
You might as well.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate that. Yeah, I think that's all we got.
Until then, we will see you guys next time.
All right, much love. Peace, y'all.